Hey there, friend. How's it going today? I'm so excited that you have signed up to do this free mini course about emotions. We're going to be talking about some skills that might be a little bit advanced, but if you're a certified coach, I know you're ready for them. We're going to talk about emotions in a way that you probably didn't learn to think about them in your coaching certification program. And these are things that I have observed from my clients, for myself over the past few years of my work around relationships with others, relationships with business, and most importantly, relationship with self. It's my hope by the end of this little mini course, you're going to do your self-coaching a little bit differently and you're going to coach your clients a little bit differently. It's a beautiful thing. So you're going to take everything you already know, and then you're going to take some insights, maybe just pick one thing from this mini course and combine that together and make the magic happen in your life and business. So today we're specifically focusing on how we think about emotions. I know you're used to putting your feelings in the F line of the model. It's beautiful. I like to think about the model as a mirror. Like, you know, when you leave the house in the morning and you look in the mirror and you're like, do I have lipstick on my teeth? Does my shirt look okay? Does this match? Do I like the overall result that's put together here? If the answer is yes, you're like, beautiful, ready to face the day. If the answer is no, you might wipe your teeth or you might go change your shirt or whatever. I like to think about the model in a similar way. We just take everything that's in our brain and we look in the mirror by putting it out on the paper, right? And we can say, do I like the way that looks? Do I like the way that feels? Is there something I want to adjust? Is there something that I need to explore a little bit more and decide later how I want to handle it? It's the same thing. Just like you wouldn't leave your home without looking in the mirror. Well, some of you would, but it's not always a good idea. Sometimes I do that too. I don't want you to approach your day or approach a big project without looking in the mirror of your brain, which is the model, right? And so the model is super helpful when we put circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results in that order. So we can say, do I like what I'm seeing? Okay. But what happens is sometimes we see a negative thought or a negative emotion. I actually don't think they're negative. I think they're just sometimes uncomfortable or sometimes don't yield the results we want. But I don't think there's a negative emotion. I think they're all just there to be learned from. But anyway, sometimes we'll see an emotion or a thought that we don't love and we'll want to get rid of it right away. Anytime we're trying to get rid of a thought or a feeling so we can move on to something better, I want you to just notice that's coming from a place of scarcity. If I don't fix this, then I can't get the results I want. I better clean this up really fast so it doesn't sabotage me. I've been there, I've done it, I've indulged in it, and I spun my wheels. So when we have a client who's spinning or we ourselves are spinning, oftentimes we need to take a look at what we're thinking about the feeling, okay? So for example, if I'm feeling self-doubt, I might be thinking, oh my gosh, I got to get rid of this. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to succeed in my business, or I'm never going to be a good enough coach, right? And when I have thoughts like that, then I feel even worse, right? I feel maybe hopeless or defeated. When I feel hopeless or defeated, I don't make offers and I don't coach at the highest level and all those things, right? They start compounding. And then the result for myself is I not only don't get rid of the self-doubt, but I make it worse. Can you see that? So I want you to put those emotions that are uncomfortable, that you've been afraid of in the past, in the circumstance line, and really think about your thinking around that circumstance, okay? A lot of us want to beat ourselves up for not being able to get out of these unintentional models, or we start to spin because we think we should be able to pass them by or get over them quickly. And then when we can't, we feel guilty or broken or not good or shame, all the things. Do you notice how feeling uncomfortable, feeling scarcity around getting rid of these uncomfortable emotions is causing them to be worse? It's causing us to compound. If you can put a negative emotion, what we consider a negative emotion, into the circumstance line like self-doubt and have a thought, oh, this is interesting. What is this trying to teach me? Or why is this coming up? I wonder where that came from. If we can have a thought like that, then we can feel completely normal, right? Maybe we feel curious. Maybe we feel open or willing to learn, right? And then our actions lead us to take that emotion and use it in a way that helps us gain more information. Use it in a way that we really do bring those things to light and we're able to work on them, manage them, and not only overcome the emotion that we don't want to be there, but actually make ourselves better, stronger, more aware, more capable of accomplishing our goals. So I hope that makes sense. I've got a download that you can use to do your self-coaching or maybe help your clients with their own coaching. So use that if you want to, but if you're like, I'm just not a worksheet person, I don't want to do that. What I want you to do is just simply think about maybe the top 3 emotions you feel in your business or in your coaching. Take one of those emotions that doesn't feel very good, that maybe yields to as a result that you don't really want, and I want you to put that in the circumstance line. What is your thought about that feeling? Does your thought about that feeling leave you wanting to learn from it and get better? Or does it fuel the actions of resistance, hiding, just pushing it away, that really scarcity-based behavior around that thought or emotion? I know we're not used to putting a feeling or emotion in the circumstance line, but this is the way we become aware. Okay, here's the last thing I'm going to say about it, and then I'll let you get to work on that. When we are thinking that feeling shouldn't be there, or when we think thoughts shouldn't be there, what we're actually doing is judging ourselves. We're judging our thinking. We're judging the way the brain works. When we're in self-judgment, it causes our brain almost to clamp down on that thought, to hold on more tightly to that emotion, right? So what I like to do, if I notice self-doubt or shame or embarrassment come up, I'll just figure out why I'm feeling self-doubt or shame or embarrassment. So for an example, I recently have had an influx of clients, and my brain right away wanted to say, I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't think you're good enough for this. You might not be able to give them the results they want. Like, my brain was spinning in that. Now, years ago, I would have been like, okay, what is a new thought that I could think that won't lead me to feel worried or won't lead me to feel this self-doubt, right? I would try to create and craft this beautiful new model so I wouldn't get stuck in that cycle. But what would happen is I would still be feeling all those emotions inside and trying to believe something else and feel something else, and it just wouldn't work. What I do now is say, I wonder why my brain would be giving me that. And I might be like, oh, because this is the first time I've had a client load this big. Makes total sense that my brain would have a little bit of resistance to that and give me the feelings of self-doubt. Or, why might I be feeling embarrassed right now? And I might go to, oh, because it's really interesting for the brain to experience being vulnerable, this vulnerable for one of the first times ever in your business. It totally makes sense that when you start to put yourself out there and share personal things, that you're going to feel a little bit of vulnerability or maybe even embarrassed from time to time. That makes sense. Like, there's no judgment in the thoughts and feelings I'm having. Now, before, I would have been really worried if I understood that and took the judgment out that I would have stayed there. But actually, the opposite is true. When we can take out that self-judgment, what happens is we open ourselves up to experiencing the emotion, being able to process through it, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. But we can process, we can get curious, we can learn, and it opens me up to using the experience to make me stronger, to make me better, to help me be able to use my life to coach my clients in a more effective way. So I hope that makes sense. We are going to recognize the emotions. We're going to get a lot of awareness around our thinking and the way we feel about the emotions. And then we're just going to take the self-judgment out. We're going to be like, I like to use of course statements. I do this with my clients sometimes. When I feel something crazy going on in my brain, like thoughts that I wish weren't there, or feelings that I wish were different, when I notice those now, I'm just like, where is this coming from? And then I'll use an of course statement. Of course I'm thinking that way because. Of course I'm feeling that way because, right? And immediately I can just feel the release. I can feel the relief. Now, it doesn't mean it's completely gone. I still have my work to do, but the pressure just starts to dissipate, and I can actually start to learn and do my thought work, which we're going to talk about in the next couple of videos, how we take this to the next level. But for now, I want you to start becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings about your emotions. And then I want you to start practicing taking out the self-judgment and see how it changes things for you. I'll talk to you in the next video.